Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपाकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Reading from Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 10, Chapter 57. So text number 25 to 28. Twenty-five to 27. 25 to 27. I'll just read the sloka and translation of 25 and 26, and 27 will recite together. Tam drishva sahasotthaya maithila prita manasah arhayamasha vidivat arhaniyam samarhanai. The king of Mithila immediately rose from his seat when he saw Lord Balrama approaching. With great love, the king honored the supreme worshipable Lord by offering him elaborate worship as stipulated by scriptural injunctions. उवाच तस्यां कतिचन मिथिलायां समाविभुः मानितः प्रीतियुक्तेन जनकेन महात्मना ततो शिक्षात् Gadam Kale Dhartarashtraha Suyodhanaha. The Almighty Lord Balrama stayed in Mithila for several years, honored by his affectionate devotee Janak Maharaj. During that time, Dhritarashtra's son Duryodhana learned from Balrama the art of fighting with a club. So now we'll recite 27th sloka together. Keshavo Dwarakamitya Nidanam Shadadhanvanaha Apraptim Chamane Praha Priyaya Priyakrit Vibhu Keshavo Dwarakamitya Nidanam Shadadhanvanaha Apraptim Chamane Praha Priyaya Priyakrit Vibhu Keshavo Dwarakamitya Nidanam Shatadanvanaha Apraptim Chamane Praha Priyaya Priyakrit Vibhu. Matajis. So word to word meaning. Keshavaha, the Lord Krishna, Dwarakam to Dwaraka, Etya coming, Nidanam the demise, Shatadanvanaha, Shatadanva of Shatadanva, Apraptim the failure to obtain, Cha and Mane the jewel, Praha he told Priyaya of his beloved queen Satyabhama. Priya, the pleasure, Krit, doing, Vibhu, the all-powerful Lord. Translation and purport by the divine disciples of His Divine Grace, Abhicharanarinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Lord Keshava arrived in Dwarka and described the demise of Shatadanva and his own failure to find the Shamantaka jewel. He spoke in a way that would please his beloved Satyabhama. Purport. Naturally, Queen Satyabhama was pleased to hear that her father's murderer had been brought to justice, but her father's Shamantaka jewel still had to be recovered. And thus she was also pleased to hear of Lord Krishna's determination to recover it. उमज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेमा प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता श्री राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्रा सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Seek blessings of all the devotees so that I can Garang Swaran Bro, Balram Govind Bro, all the devotees so that I can attempt to speak something. So I was just reading from Krishna book, one of the sentence which Srila Prabhupada writes. So Shatadanva was then riding on a horse which could run at a very great speed. And Prabhupada writes at a stretch 400 miles. So with that speed, he fled the city. So and 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 of course, Prabhupada writes that this horse was exhausted and died after a certain point. And Krishna was particularly angry with Shatadanva, very, very important sentence Prabhupada writes, and wanted to kill him because he had killed Satrajit, a superior personality. Shastra's injunction, Prabhupada writes, is one who is Guru Dhruva, who has rebelled against a superior person, must be punished in proportion to the severity of the offense. And because Satyadanva had killed this Satrajit, that a very brutal murder. So Krishna was determined to kill him by any means. So, so here in one of the purport, after Krishna kills Shatadanva, uh, after Krishna kills Shatadanva, Krishna says that Shamantaka jewel is not here. We have unnecessarily killed this person. So Acharya writes one very amazing point. Thinking, yeah, here it is. Yeah, thinking that even though Krishna is omniscient, he is acting like this to fool me. So Balrama concealed his anger because he was supposed to be bewildered by Krishna. And then he spoke this verse. So Balrama said, "Now I would like to visit Mithila. You return to Dwarka and give this jewel to your beloved, but I'll stay here." So this is a commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Tagore. So, and one more building uh, point here, which Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Tagore says that Keshava, this commentary on this 27th sloka, commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti. Jai Shri Nitai Gauranga Bhagwan ki Jai, Prahlad Narsimha Bhagwan ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So, yeah, there is a purport. Keshava comforted his beloved Priyaya Priyakrit by affectionately saying, I was unable to revive your father because he had a short lifespan, but I have killed his murderer with my own hands. So, uh, Krishna, he has revived the life of Guruputra, his like son of his Guru. Going to Yamaraj, he got back. So for Krishna, there is nothing actually to revive back the life. But like Krishna is just sort of uh, acting like a ordinary person in order to uh, in order to um, conceal his supremacy, in order to conceal his supreme position from like uh, people who have a different like covered perspective. So Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita that avajananti mam muda manushim tanum ashritam param bhavam ajananto, like not knowing the param bhavam, the supreme position of Lord. So the muda, matlab the fools, they derided Supreme Lord, thinking that thinking him like ordinary person. So one of the very important point is Krishna is beyond the um, material limitations, whether it is um, anything actually, like whether it is karma or whether it is um, the space or anything which is material. So Krishna is beyond the ordinary material limitations. His Kunti Maharani says that Prakrite Param, Ishvara Prakrite Param. He is beyond Prakriti. In fact, the Prakriti is under his control. Maya Jakshina Prakriti. The whole Prakriti is running under his control. So for him to revive Satrajit is nothing. But it is his pastime that he does that. He just he doesn't reveal his supremacy uh, all the times. He conceals his supremacy. So um, we can see that particular aspect of Supreme Lord. Even uh, like in the Bhagavad Gita, he doesn't reveal the supremacy till the fourth chapter. And fourth chapter, he reveals his supremacy. Imam Vivashvate Yogam Proktavan Nahamavyam Vivashvan Manave Prahur Manavar Ikshvakve Bravit. So, and of course, before that also, Krishna tells that how this Kudastva Kashmalamidam, how come this particular contamination has come in your heart? So, just like a friend, I was talking to Arjuna that how come this contamination has come in your heart. So Krishna time and again, like we can see how he conceals his supremacy. So um, and he reveals his supremacy in proportion to the extent one surrenders to him. So ye tamam prabhadyante tam sadaiva bhajamyam, Krishna tells that particular point. So in proportion to the extent we appreciate the qualities of Supreme Lord, to that much proportion one will have faith in Supreme Lord, and to that much proportion one will take the instruction of Supreme Lord very 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 seriously, and applies in his life. So this particular aspect of faith is very very important, like faith in the divine qualities of Lord, the divine nature of Lord, and the divine compassion of Lord. So that is very very important to meditate on for a devotee. So like there are so many opulences that Supreme Lord has, like Aishwarya, like supreme wealth, supreme strength, supreme beauty, supreme fame, supreme knowledge. But the knowledge of the opulence of supreme renunciation is something very very attractive, very very attractive. So like meditating on this particular aspect, that how Lord is so renounced and so wonderful, despite having all these opulences. So that makes a devotee now go into like his heart gets very much touched. He goes into tears that how wonderful my Lord is. So by that appreciation, he develops faith in Lord, and then that like when he hears from Krishna, then he takes the instruction of Krishna very very seriously. So this like one of the thought, like just like we have this story of Adam and Eve. So this Adam and like the Bible talks about this particular story, that Adam, he if he would have been having that particular quality of appreciation, he would have been faithful and humble. He would have had faith in the instruction of Lord, that do not eat the forbidden apple, and then he would have been humble, and he would have immediately rejected that particular argument of that snake, which has which is giving the argument. Parampuja Ranaswamy Maharaj says that the Mayavad has directly came out of the mouth of the snake in this Bible. That this snake says that if you eat that forbidden apple, you will also become God. So, like immediately that particular argument would have been rejected. But because he was, I mean, after that particular doubt came, and because he was not humble, and he was proud enough that maybe I can try it out, and that started strengthening his doubt more and more and more, and then he acted on it, and then he came to the material consciousness. So actually this quality of appreciation for Lord is something very very important. Appreciation of the divine qualities of renunciation, how the Lord just doesn't need us. Yat chatmane pratimukasya etamukasri. It is we who need to serve Lord, and Lord is giving the instructions so that we can come, we get benefited ourselves. So that is something very very important. So and of course like one more point we can see here, that Duryodhana was learning the art of fighting with club from Balramji. So and he has a very skillful. Duryodhana is very very skillful in his fight with the club, because he got training from Balramji, and of course Bhima had a lot of power, he had a lot of strength. So with fighting with the club. So anyway, we can see one more very important point here, like Duryodhana He actually wanted Balramji, but he doesn't want Krishna. And he wanted Balramji for a selfish purpose. Like he wanted to learn the art of fighting and all that, fighting with the club. So it is not for the purpose of pleasing Krishna or serving Krishna. That is not the purpose. So in a very similar way, one tries to one takes the name of Guru, and if that servitude is not there, service to Krishna, that purpose is not there. So then one will fall into the same category. Like we can see that how people use shastras for their own selfish purpose. Like Mayavadis, they use the content, but they keep the intent aside. So that particular aspect of using the content and neglecting the intent of Bhagavad Gita, it is this particular mentality, Duryodhan mentality, very 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 diplomatic. So people, they want to use their own commentary, their own they put forward their own arguments and all that. So one of the very happy news for every one of us is it is a happy news in one way, and in other way it seems like it is little different also. That happy news is that there is this particular Bhagavad Gita, that has been forwarded by this. The bill was been forwarded in the parliament that Bhagavad Gita come up in all the schools and all. So it's a very wonderful thing that people understand that I'm not the body, I'm a spiritual and all. But at the same time, if we don't know what commentary may be given, so that is a point of concern, because now when we go out and we just quote slokas, people very humbly they hear whatever we speak. So in future there can be a challenge. People know slokas and all. If it's a different commentary and different understanding and different conclusion which people have, so then there can be a lot of it can be a tough time actually. So of course, that's why we have to distribute as many Bhagavad Gitas as possible. So the book distribution, proper Bhagavad Gita should be distributed as much as possible. Like when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was just about to appear, so Brahmaji has blessed Navadvip Dham with so much opulence in order to make arrangement for Lord Chaitanya. That Lord Chaitanya is about to descend, and he blessed with so much of opulence, opulence, and opulence. So what happened was they're using all that opulence for sense gratification. They're using all that opulence in a different way. So, so in a very similar way, we can see like without parampara, without the touch of acharyas, without the very intent of Krishna, in case the content reaches, even though people may understand that I'm not the body, I'm a spirit soul, but the effect of Kali Yuga is so powerful that one can use the content for one's own for putting forward one's own statements and all that. Like we can see there are so many editions of Bhagavad Gita and so many interpretations of Bhagavad Gita, misinterpretations of Bhagavad Gita. So, but of course, in one way, it is a very wonderful thing that the Shastra is honored and Bhagavad Gita is well known, and um, and of course, honoring Shastras, honoring Guru Sadhu, and Shastra, all three of them. That really is very very auspicious for the entire kingdom. It's not just honoring Shastra and neglecting Guru and Sadhu. It's like honoring Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. So when one does that, that will be very auspicious. But of course, to some extent, there will be auspiciousness. Like people get some touch of Krishna. So in relation to book distribution, I just got a very interesting um clipping from our Harshit bro. I share, it was, I think many of you might be knowing also, might have heard also. So Vaisheshika Prabhu was mentioning that just like in Yagna, the animal is offered in Gomeda Yagna, cow is offered in the fire, and in Ashwamedha Yagna, the horse is horse is sacrifice offered in the fire, and then it comes out in the human form. So in a very similar way, in this Sankirtan Yagna, in the fire of Sankirtan, the animal-like hearts, when they get touched by the fire of Sankirtan, when their chitta is offered in the fire of Sankirtan, so then they come out as humans. They become humans. So, and then one more very interesting point is just like a disciple assists Guru in bringing wood for performing the yagna, in a very similar way, when these papers are actually made up of, they are actually made from wood. So I was just sharing in Brahmachari class also that around 20 years before, when I was there in like one of our relatives' place in Sirpur, Kagas Nagar. So this is in the border of Andhra and Maharashtra, just in the border. So, so there, this paper plant was there. Paper plant where they take a lot of wood. They take a lot of wood and cut the wood into different pieces, and they process it, and finally the paper comes out as end product. Paper plant, basically. So the papers are they come from wood. So just like the disciple carries the wood to Guru to for the performance of yagna. So in a similar way, our carrying these books, which are the papers, which is the wood, which the wood is a material, and there is a fire of Krishna and the commentary of Parampara. So when you carry this, and and uh, and when it has been distributed, the animal-like heart, when it reads it, offering his consciousness, he certainly offers his consciousness by reading it, and then he turns his animal-like consciousness. It turns the animal-like consciousness into the human. So it was like very thrilling analogy, which I got from and Radheshyam Prabhu was sharing this, quoting Vaisheshika Prabhu. So actually, being part of this Sankirtan Yagna, it's a really austere thing. Keeping oneself in the background and keeping Srila Prabhupada in the foreground. So, like, we are making a program for Srila Prabhupada. So, and in doing this particular program, there is this particular enthusiasm that is needed to serve Guru. So, in the section of Prahlad Maharaj, so this particular sloka, very famous sloka, Sravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. So Srila Prabhupada writes in the commentary, very amazing purport, very interesting purport, and there is a quotation of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur also, very interesting. After performing sacrifices, sometimes a person engaged in fruitive activity customarily offers the results to Vishnu, but here it is said Bhagavati Adha. One must directly offer everything to Vishnu. This is called sannyasa, not merely nyasa. A Tridandi sannyasi carries three dandas signifying kaya, mano, vakya, body, mind, and words. All of this should be offered to Vishnu, and then one can begin devotional service. Fruity workers first perform some pious activities and then formally or officially offer the results to Vishnu. The real devotee, however, first offers his surrender to Krishna with his body, mind, and words, and then uses his body, mind, and words for the service of Krishna as Krishna desires. So, this very enlightening point. The real devotee, however, first offers his surrender to Krishna with his body, mind, and words, and then uses his body, mind, and words. That is first the consciousness. That consciousness has to be hooked on to Krishna, and this particular aspect of surrendering to Krishna with body, mind, and words, like we can see in the aspect of in the activity of chanting, where we keep our mind, we use our uh, the mouth and tongue, you know like, and we offer uh, the entire consciousness to in chanting the holy names of Lord, and that will empower our services. Then uses his body, mind, and words for service of Krishna as Krishna desires. This is again another very important point, for the service of Krishna as Krishna desires. So the more we hook on to this particular aspect of enthusiastically chanting, so here we have to uh, exercise our free will very nicely by offering it to Supreme Lord. So then one can do the services also very enthusiastically. Like when one chants, when one is nicely surcharged by Krishna consciousness, so whatever success or failure that comes on the way, he connects it to Krishna. So success comes, he connects that how Krishna is so wonderfully acting. He has used me as instrument, and we relish the hand of Krishna. And when there is failure, then we understand how Krishna is helping me get purified of the contaminations. So that particular connection to Krishna um, will make us more and more closer to Krishna, whether there is a success or failure. Or else, in either cases, like whether there is a success or whether there is a failure, one gets carried away by the material energy. So, of course, one gets carried away in different ways. One gets affected, and then overall, one will lose enthusiasm to do the service over a longer run. When there is elation and when there is the positive and negative sinusoid. So for a longer term, it becomes difficult to continue on in that particular service. So, just as there is creation, there is maintenance, and there is destruction. The maintenance is actually done by Vishnu. So, in order to maintain the consciousness and the enthusiasm to do that particular service, so one has to take help of the Supreme Lord. One has to surcharge his consciousness very nicely by chanting of holy names. So, by that surcharging, one can uh, one can easily face this different ups and downs, like the success or failures, and one will not lose enthusiasm over a period of time, or one will not lose a taste for a period of time. So that um, a particular connection to Vishnu, that particular connection to holy names is very, very important in offering our consciousness to the Supreme Lord. So there is one amazing purport of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So I'll just read out on this Navamida Bhakti, nine types of devotional service, 9 types of offering of consciousness. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gives the following explanation in his Tatya. The word Sravana refers to giving oral reception to the holy name and description of the Lord's form, qualities, entourage, and pastimes as explained in Srimad Bhagvatam, Bhagavad Gita, and similar authorized scriptures. After orally receiving such messages, one should memorize these vibrations and repeat them. This Kirtanam, these are in brackets. Smaranam means trying to understand more and more about the Supreme Lord. And Padasavana means engaging oneself in serving the lotus feet of the Lord according to the time and circumstances. Archana means worshipping Lord Vishnu as one does in the temple. And Vandana means offering respectful obeisances. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Vandana means namaskuru. Offering obeisances or offering prayers. Thinking oneself to be Nitya Krishna Das, everlastingly a servant of Krishna, is called Dasyam. And yeah, this is another very interesting point. And Sakya means being a well-wisher of Krishna. Krishna wants everyone to surrender unto him because everyone is constitutionally his servant. Therefore, as a sincere friend of Krishna, one should preach this philosophy, requesting everyone to surrender unto Krishna. So this is another interesting point. Atmanivedanam means offering Krishna everything, including one's body, mind, intelligence, and whatever one may possess. So one's sincere endeavor to perform these 9 processes of devotional service is technically called bhakti. And the word adha means directly. So as a sincere friend of Krishna, so that harmonizing with Krishna, as a sincere friend of Krishna, with the desires of Krishna is something very, very important. So harmonizing with the desires of Krishna is harmonizing with the desires of his pure devotees. So like one of the very amazing pastime. So yeah, this is April 11th, 1973 from Srila Prabhupada Leelamrit. So Srila Prabhupada flew from New York to Los Angeles and a crowd of loving devotees greeted him. So there is a Tripurari, His Grace Tripurari Prabhu, maybe Maharaj, I'm not sure now. So Prabhupada was arriving at 2 in the afternoon and all the devotees were going to meet him. But it was also Easter weekend and a big day for book distribution at the airport. At that time, I was the only one working the airport. So I was doing rather well and had sold about 30 books by 1:30. Then I changed into my dhoti and walked over to the arrivals area to meet His Divine Grace. When he entered the terminal building, he looked at me and smiled, and I melted in ecstasy. We had Kirtana all the way down the stairs, and when we got outside, all the devotees were going back to the temple. Then I thought, what business do I have going back to the temple and chanting with all the devotees? My business is to stay out and distribute the books. That is my service to Prabhupada. So I was the only one who didn't return to the temple. I stayed and distributed 67 books. When I got back, I found that Karandara had told Prabhupada about me and how I had been distributing books. When I heard that, I became very enthusiastic and continued to distribute books every day that week. So, and in Los Angeles, Srila Prabhupada took his morning walks either at the shore of the Pacific Ocean or in Cheviot Hills Park. Every morning, a few disciples joined him. So Srila Prabhupada used to discuss regularly about the science, the Darwin theory. We can see so many of these wonderful morning walks in 1974, 1973, 74. So, so on the morning, Tripurari accompanied Prabhupada on his walk. Prabhupada said little as they walked up and down the beach. Once when they were walking back toward the car, did one of the devotees mention, Prabhupada, Tripurari is here. Prabhupada turned and smiled. Uh, how is the book distribution going? He asked. So this was Tripurari's first time to speak directly with his spiritual master. And then in nervous enthusiasm, he began blurting out his realizations. Prabhupada interrupted. They're the best service for humanity. And then he quoted from Bhagavad Gita. There will never be a devotee more dear to me than he who preaches this message of Bhagavad Gita. So there's a very glorious mass of the month of Gita Jayanti, the very auspicious month of Gita Jayanti. And this particular mass is called as Dhanur Mass. So like we see in South India, there is a huge festival of that happens in Dhanur Mass. There is offering of Pongal to Ranganath and lordships. So this whole month is very very auspicious month. So this is a very auspicious month where we can distribute Bhagavad Gita, share the message of Bhagavad Gita with as many people as possible, and get blessings of the Guru Parampara and the Supreme Lord, and be a very enthusiastic participant of the yajna of the Sankirtan yajna by carrying these books, which are the wood, and sharing it with as many souls as possible. That will make their hearts, the animal like hearts, turn into a human being. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. हरे कृष्णा.